How's it going, YouTube? Today we're going to be talking about something similar to yesterday's video, so if you haven't seen that yet, definitely go back and check it out. That one's all about how I got mugged over a Jack in the Box taco the day before Halloween 2014. But today we're going to be going back even a little bit further than that and telling you about the time that I almost got murdered. And it wasn't even my fault. But before we get into that, I just wanted to tell you about the time that my doctor said I was drinking too much and I should give him a urine sample. There was an olive in it.
Zach's back with another attack, so come on in and just relax. Hit subscribe and join the fun. You're Zach to the future now, son.
What's up, YouTube? Zach's back with another attack. So let's get right into this story about how I almost got murdered. So my cousin and I, who I will not name, we were at my aunt and uncle's house and we decided to go for a walk, and we were dumb kids and we just didn't know where we were going. There was a road and we thought we would just walk down it as far as we could go, see where it led us, and this was back when I was drinking and doing some marijuana. So I was walking down this road and it was middle of the night. We just walked and walked and walked, and we actually had a bag of some beer with us, and so as we were walking, we saw this patch of grass, and we were a little bit drunk already. So we laid down in the grass and started to just sit there talking, looking at the stars, and drunkenly just giving up on this walk almost. All of a sudden, a car drives by, and several cars had driven by, but my cousin and I had been talking about marijuana a little bit, and as this car drove by, my cousin decided to scream out, "Hey, we need some weed!" And the car drives by. I'm sitting there like, what? Why would you say that? Are you kidding me? And then the car turns around and comes back over to us. Well, we both jump up, a little bit freaked out, and the guy in the driver's seat says, "What were you guys yelling?" And we walk a little bit over to the car, and I was like, nothing, and she goes, "I yelled we need some weed." So the guy says, "That's all you were screaming?" I'm like, "What?" And she's like, "Yeah, that's all we were saying." And he goes, "Well, I don't really smoke often, but I've got a little bit from a party I had a while back hidden down in the basement. If you want to come over to my place, we can smoke a little weed." And I'm sitting here in sheer disbelief, like, is this really happening right now? And so we continue walking. The car turns around and drives off. He tells us that if we don't get to his house before he does, then he will come back and pick us up. So we continue walking on this path. It's been probably at least 2 hours of walking at this point, maybe a little less, but either way, we just keep walking and talking, and we're telling each other about, what if these people are gonna kill us? What if these people are gonna rape us? You know, we don't know. And as we're saying, what if these people are gonna kill us or rape us, we hear a voice to our right saying, "You talking about us?" And we both look over, and both those people are sitting down there. This is on a lake, so they were like on a sandy area right off the lake. And we see them over there and pretend like we weren't talking about them killing or raping us. But we walked over to where they were. They had a cooler out there with some beer, and they were kind of just watching the lake, talking, shooting the crap, and having a good time as well. So we sat down with them and we drank some more of their beers, and we smoked a little weed. We did what we did, you know, and the guys were pretty cool, honestly. We had a good chat with them, we had some fun, and we made some new friends, kind of. That's the only time we ever saw those guys, so I have since gone back and tried to see them again, see if they remember that and anything like that, but I've never been able to see them again, despite walking over to that place again several times with other people, and things like that. So, but that's not even where the story gets really good, guys, because all of that happened, and we finished up after just hanging out with them for a while. We decided to turn around, walk back home. Obviously, it was starting to get early, and we had to be home before everybody else started waking up again. So we turned around and started back down this long road, at least a 2-hour walk home, I would say. And as we're walking, another car starts to come our way. So, my cousin, thinking that it's a cop and not wanting to get in trouble for drinking in public and things like that, she jumps in between two cars in somebody's driveway. Now, the car drives past us, and it's not a cop, and it keeps on going, so we're safe. So I say, come on, let's go. Let's keep moving. And next thing we know, the door of that house opens up, and a woman in just a robe comes down the steps of the house and starts walking towards us. At this point, my cousin and I are walking as fast as we can away from this house, keeping down this road. But the lady goes all the way into the road in just her robe, and we look behind us, and she is holding a gun. This woman has a gun, and we are walking as fast as we can. Once we see she has a gun, though, we take off running. We are going as fast as we can, as far away as possible, as quick as possible. And a few minutes later, we go over this big hill, and as we're getting to the bottom of it, we don't see the lady. She's in a robe, you know, we don't think anything's gonna happen. We're way past her house, over a hill, and she's in a robe. We're not messing with her house, you know. We think we're good. So we keep on walking, and we start talking again like, oh my god, we could have just died. That was nuts. And next thing we know, a car comes driving down that hill. And we mostly assume that it was somebody else. We mostly think that it was just another car. You know, worst case scenario, it's a cop. And then it stopped beside where we were walking. Now, here's where the story really gets crazy, guys, because this guy gets out of his car and he's got some kind of a pipe with him, like some kind of a metal pipe, and he starts walking towards us, and there's a big woods on each side of the road, so I basically get pushed against a tree, and I'm sitting there like, dude, I'm sorry, we were not doing anything. And at the same time, I don't know if this guy knew that it was my cousin who had jumped in between their cars rather than me, but I was being a gentleman, and I was like, don't hit her, it's not, you know, we're good, we're not doing anything, she's drunk, and so he starts going after me, and I'm up against this tree, and he goes, what are you guys doing? And I'm like, we're not doing anything, man. We're just walking. We're going for a walk. You know, we're just kids. We're having fun. And the guy goes, do you know where you are? And I don't want to tell you guys where I was exactly. I'm not trying to give away city names and stuff. So let's just call this place WeinerVille. So this guy is like, there's crackheads out here. You kids shouldn't be walking around this late at night. So, this guy is like, this is WeinerVille. I would know there was crackheads because I used to be one. What? What? We were sitting there like, okay, don't kill me. You're a crackhead. I don't want to die. We were just walking and she did it and I don't even know. And not to mention, we have been coming to WeinerVille for a long time and nothing bad has ever happened until this. So we didn't think it was really that bad, but either way, I basically just said, I'm sorry, sir. Don't hurt me. We're just walking home. You know, it's not a big deal. It won't happen again. And the guy goes, all right, well, you kids need a ride home? What? We look at each other and I'm just like, no, I think we'll pass. Don't really need a ride home from a former crackhead who just tried to murder me today. So, I think we'll just keep on walking. And so basically the guy gets back in his car and he drives away. We keep walking, and man, did that wake us up. It was probably 5 or 6 in the morning, and we were definitely awake by that point. We kept walking down the road and talking about how we almost got murdered. And we finished walking all the way back to our house, and we laid down in the grass. We were so exhausted that we just laid down in the grass and fell asleep right there. For a long time, nobody knew this story at all. And my uncle came out the next day and saw me and her laying in the grass with ants crawling all over us. I guess he said something and we didn't wake up. But still, to this day, the story goes around of us laying in the grass with ants crawling all over us, with some people's not knowing everything that happened before that. I did not get murdered that day, but I might if you don't hit the subscribe button. Yeah, that's a real thing. But anyways, guys, I'm Zach. Don't do crack or weed, and don't jump in between cars and stuff like that. And I will catch you all in the future.